Viewers, this situation developing in the southeast is one everyone needs to pay attention to. A message recently appeared online, reportedly from the Biafra Liberation Army, directed to all Biafrans. The message has sparked reactions across Nigeria and even beyond. People are asking what this group stands for, who is behind it, and what exactly their message means. As I take you through everything that's happening, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you'll always be updated when we bring new reports like this. Now, let's talk about what we know so far. The name Biafra Liberation Army, or BLA for short, is not entirely new. For some time, small groups in the southeast have used that title to identify themselves as defenders of Biafra's cause. They claim they are fighting for the freedom and dignity of Biafrans. However, the Nigerian government and the National Army have never recognized such a group. In fact, the army has repeatedly said there cannot be two armies in one country, warning that any group that operates outside the nation's defense structure is illegal. This latest message from the BLA appeared online with strong words urging Biafrans to unite, to be alert, and to prepare mentally for what the group described as a decisive phase of their struggle. The tone was firm, passionate, and emotional. Supporters of the movement say the message is simply a call for unity, not war, while others fear it could be an early sign of another conflict if not handled carefully. Either way, the message has drawn attention to the deep frustration that still exists in the southeast. Many people in that region feel marginalized. They believe their voices are not being heard in national politics, that their economic progress has been slow, and that insecurity has become unbearable. For them, the message from the BLA touches a nerve. It speaks to the pain and disappointment many people are feeling. But there are also those who say, no, this is not the way forward. They believe dialogue and political negotiation remain the safest and smartest route. At the same time, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, which is the most widely known organization advocating for a separate Biafran state, has publicly denied any connection with the BLA. IPOB has stated clearly that it does not engage in armed struggle and that its campaign for self-determination is peaceful. They even went further to condemn some of the actions that have been attributed to unknown armed groups in the southeast. So, right now, we are seeing several groups with similar goals, but different methods. And that difference is creating confusion. While all this is going on, security forces in Nigeria have increased their presence in some parts of the southeast. You may have noticed more patrols, more checkpoints, and more roadblocks. The federal government is taking every message like this seriously, and they have made it clear that any attempt to challenge national security will be met with a firm response. However, ordinary citizens are caught in the middle. People just want to live in peace, do their business, and go home safely. Please, if you're still watching this and you want me to keep breaking down the real situation like this, kindly like this video and subscribe right now. It helps this channel grow and makes it possible for us to continue sharing updates that matter to Nigerians everywhere. Now, one important thing we must understand is how misinformation spreads quickly on social media. Some of the so-called messages and videos that appear online are not always verified. A few may be edited, reused, or posted by people who want to push their own agenda. This is why we must be careful before believing everything we see. Even though the message from the BLA has been shared by many pages, the authenticity and source are still being questioned. Fact-checking organizations have also advised the public not to believe claims that a new war is about to start. They remind everyone that the Southeast, despite tension, is not in a state of open war. What exists are pockets of insecurity and clashes involving criminal elements, political agitators, and security forces. It is important to separate fact from emotion so that people don't panic unnecessarily. Now, let's look at how people are reacting. Among young people in the Southeast, the message has created mixed feelings. Some say it has given them hope that the struggle is still alive. Others say it has brought fear because they do not want to live through violence again.
Remember, most families in that region still tell stories of what their grandparents went through during the 1970s civil war.
Over 3 million people died in that period. No one wants to see that kind of pain again. The BLA's message from another angle can also be seen as a reflection of how frustrated citizens are with the slow development in the region. Many towns in the southeast are facing high unemployment, bad roads, and security problems. Some residents believe these issues are being ignored. For them, when they hear someone speak boldly in the name of Biafra, they listen because they want answers. But again, the concern is the method. Armed movements have never brought lasting peace anywhere in the world. Dialogue and reforms do. Government analysts have said that the emergence of groups like the BLA shows a communication gap between leaders and the people. When young people no longer feel represented,
they sometimes turn to radical groups to express their anger. Experts are now advising both federal and state governments to create new communication channels with community leaders, youth associations, and religious organizations to calm tensions before things escalate. The Nigerian army, on its part, has also been trying to maintain order, but there have been complaints of human rights violations. Recently, the army had to condemn an incident where an ex-soldier was reportedly treated badly by a group linked to pro-Biafra elements. The military promised to investigate, while also calling for restraint from all sides. This shows how complex the situation has become. Both the state and the separatist side are accusing each other of excesses. Another twist is the growing division even among supporters of Biafra.
Some have distanced themselves from the idea of an armed struggle, insisting that Biafra should only be achieved through international diplomacy and peaceful negotiation. Others, especially on social media, say they are tired of waiting and believe force is the only language that gets attention. This disagreement is one of the main reasons why the Biafran movement has not been united for years. Viewers, if you're following everything clearly, please remember to like this video and subscribe right now. Your support helps us continue to bring balanced and reliable updates about issues that matter in Nigeria. Now, if we study how events are unfolding, it seems the Southeast is standing at a very sensitive point. On one side, there are government forces determined to keep the country united. On the other side, there are citizens asking for justice, fairness, and development, people who want their voices heard. In between both sides, there are mixed messages, frustration, and a lack of trust. So what happens next? That's the big question. Analysts predict 3 possible directions. 1, the government could open new peace talks and reach out to traditional rulers, youth groups, and civil society to reduce tension. 2, the situation could get worse if both sides keep ignoring each other. And 3, the people could take matters into their own hands through peaceful advocacy, voting, and participation in politics, pushing for change from within the system rather than outside it. Personally, I believe peace and progress can only come when communication replaces confrontation. The Southeast is a strong, productive region. Its people are educated, innovative, and resilient. They deserve to live in peace and prosperity, not fear. The message from the BLA should be treated as a signal that people are frustrated, not as a license for violence. The government too should pay attention. When people keep saying the same thing for years, it means something is not right. Development, inclusion, and fair treatment can go a long way in calming anger. If people feel heard, they will not need to depend on armed groups to speak for them. For now, what everyone needs to do is stay informed, stay calm, and avoid spreading unverified information. Social media can make issues look worse than they are. Always check credible sources before you believe any urgent message or voice note going around. The goal should be to keep peace while demanding justice, not to destroy what is left of it. Before I wrap up this segment, please remember once again to like this video, subscribe, and share it with friends so they can understand what is really happening. These discussions are important. The more people understand the situation, the less likely we are to fall for misinformation or division. The Biafra Liberation Army's message may sound bold, but behind it lies a deep cry for attention, a call for better treatment, respect, and fairness. Every Nigerian should see that as a reminder that no part of the country should feel forgotten. True unity does not come from silence. It comes from justice and understanding. So, whether you are from the southeast, north, west, or anywhere in Nigeria, the lesson here is simple. Peace is built when people talk and listen, not when they fight. Let's hope that in the coming weeks, both leaders and the people find a common ground to build trust again.